I work at a car wash. At my summer job, I work at a car place. Half the time I'm washing cars. The other half of my time, and the other days really, is I'm changing oil. I change oil. I work at a car wash. It's been a great, great job for me. I've learned a ton. And the other day we were short-staffed. I'm working at the car wash, and we were short-staffed. There were 2 guys. There should have been 3. And the way the system works, you have one guy cashing out cars, and then you have one guy on either side of the car scrubbing the car. So the third guy doesn't show up. Third guy doesn't show up to work, and we are screwed. The 2 of us washing cars are like, crap. It's going to be a really long day. We have a really long line. We're screwed. And so we had a choice to make. The guys working that were understaffed. We could either choose to be miserable, or we could choose to make the most of the experience. We could make the most of what's going on. And I'm really proud of this because we made the most of the experience. We had a good attitude. We made great tips, and it was a pretty good day of work. It was a day of work I'm really proud of. We chose to make the best of a bad situation. So last year, Auburn's football team was left out of the college football playoff. Auburn beat Alabama in the Iron Bowl, and Auburn went to the SEC championship and lost. And when they lost, they were not included in the college football playoff. And in fact, Alabama, who Auburn had just beat, Alabama leapfrogged Auburn and was put into the college football playoff. I mean, I can imagine that sucked. I can imagine that hurt. Auburn felt screwed over. I understand. I mean, they were given the Peach Bowl instead of a chance at the national title. I mean, really, national championship or the Peach Bowl? I understand why Auburn felt slighted. But in the Peach Bowl, Auburn lost to the University of Central Florida. And, Auburn had a choice. They had a choice. They could either have a bad attitude or they could have made the most of the Peach Bowl. But because they had a bad attitude, they lost. Auburn lost to the University of Central Florida because they did not appreciate the opportunity. And it really sucks because, Auburn was a much better team. The better team lost in the Peach Bowl, but Central Florida took advantage of Auburn, who had a bad attitude and didn't appreciate the opportunity. And here's what sucks even more is all offseason we've had to hear that the University of Central Florida, they're tooting their own horn. We are the self-proclaimed national champions. I hate that so much. It bothers me. You're not the national champions. You beat Auburn. You went undefeated, but you didn't play anybody other than Auburn, and Auburn was disappointed. I don't like that at all, but the lesson from the Auburn Peach Bowl game where they lost to Central Florida, the lesson here is that attitude is everything. We make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. I'm a very flawed individual, but you have to learn from them and then you have to move on. And so this year, one of the narratives I'm most looking forward to watching in college football is rooting for Auburn to bounce back. Because I think Auburn got screwed over last year. They have a really good quarterback. They have a great defense, much better than most in college football, and they have a lesson. They have a lesson they learned, and they have motivation from their loss in the Peach Bowl to the University of Central Florida. There's one team I'm rooting for this year, and it is Auburn. I like Alabama. It's fun to watch, but I can't wait to watch the Iron Bowl this year to see how does Auburn respond this season to being slighted last year. They were not given maybe a fair chance, and when they were given the Peach Bowl, they had a bad attitude, and I hope they learn from it. I hope they move forward. I hope next time they're given a tough situation. Maybe they're down by 21 points. Maybe they're put into a game they don't like. But whatever the situation is, next time Auburn has to deal with some adversity, I hope they make a choice to make the best of it rather than not appreciating their opportunity and having a bad attitude. I am very curious to watch Auburn this year. I think it's a very interesting storyline. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Remember, if you want to help Strong Opinion Sports grow, you can share this with your friends on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, whatever it is. Help me grow Strong Opinion Sports by telling your friends about this show. And always remember, you can subscribe to Strong Opinion Sports on iTunes, on SoundCloud, everywhere you can find a podcast, as well as YouTube. My full entire podcast is on YouTube, as well as shorter, more interesting clips like this. So thank you so much. Have a great day, and take care.